A movie as cool as Zootopia needs fun theories, but also dark ones that completely blow our minds. Do you know the most disturbing theories from the world of Zootopia? Siblings. Have you ever noticed that Judy's parents might be related? Maybe they could even be siblings. Do you remember that in the first movie, Judy revealed that she had more than 200 siblings in her family, and that actually makes a lot of sense since rabbits reproduce very quickly. But what's curious is that, if this is true, then it becomes very easy for Judy's parents to be related. Let's remember that just in Judy's family there are more than 200 rabbits. If each of her parents has hundreds of brothers and sisters, then Judy's hometown must be bigger than Zootopia itself. The theory says that, to solve this problem, Disney's animation made all rabbits part of the same family. Because of that, Judy's mother and father must be related. You did notice that they look alike, right? It's worth remembering that, in the world of rabbits, this wouldn't be a problem. Just something strange to see in a Disney animation. But does that mean that one day Judy might marry one of her cousins? Let's find out about this and much more right now.
The moment has come! Let's enjoy another Cinewave together!
Past. You probably remember that in the first movie, we see a stage play where a young Judy plays a helpless fox who tells the story of the past between predators and prey. This means that, in the past, terrible wars happened between the animals of Zootopia, where thousands of them lost their lives, and that's why prejudice between characters still exists today. But did you notice that the animals who suffer the most in the city are foxes? Judy's father even says that she can trust predators, but not foxes. Maybe, in the past, there was a famous fox who lied and caused a lot of problems. This could explain why many animals don't like Nick Wilde and also don't like Gideon, Judy's former schoolmate. Did a great war between predators and prey happen in the past, and maybe that's why the city of Zootopia exists? They got tired of fighting and made peace. Hybrids. Do you know what a hybrid is? It's an animal that mixes two or more different species, and one of the darkest Zootopia theories talks about this. The movie hasn't shown it yet, but hybrids probably exist. We know this because of two scenes. One that was deleted from the first movie, where Judy's father thought his daughter was dating Nick, and that scene shows that animals from different species can actually date each other. The other scene happens in the second movie, when we see Judy and Nick pretending to be a couple to fool that anteater who worked at the city's port. And on top of that, they bring an old partner of Nick's who was dressed as a rabbit but had the face of a canine. The anteater accepts this as something strange, but at the same time possible. In other words, in that anteater's mind, it's perfectly possible for a baby to exist that is a mix of rabbit and fox. And if you consider that Judy's father thought the two of them were dating, the only possible conclusion is that hybrids exist in this universe, but no one has seen them yet. Will we get to know more about these characters in the next movie? Mother. Do you know where Pawbert's mother is? If you paid close attention to this family, you notice that there are currently 4 of them. The father, Milton Linksley, and his 3 children, Catterick Linksley, Kitty Linksley, and of course, Pawbert. But where is this family's mother? We have no idea where she is, and there's a bizarre theory that tries to explain what really happened. The Lynx family showed, from the very first moment they appeared, that they have no problem taking the life of someone who stands in their way. In the fireplace scene, inside the Lynx mansion, the father orders his children to take Gary's life. Only a very bad person would teach something like that to their kids. We believe that this is exactly what happened to the mother of the Linksley family. She must have realized that her husband was a bad person, and because of that, she may have left or even been attacked by him. This family has already shown that there's a lot of dark history surrounding this topic. Do Milton's children know what really happened to their mother? Do you think Pawbert will return in the next movie? Comment the hashtag Zootopia so we can get to know you. The problem: what if we told you that Judy and Nick didn't actually solve the real problem of the first movie? Yes, that's very true. Just pay attention to how the former lion mayor treated his vice mayor, the sheep Bellwether. On the day Judy becomes a police officer, you can see that the lion treats the sheep terribly. He even pushes her away and treats Bellwether like an assistant, not like a partner. The truth is that small animals in the world of Zootopia don't live very well. The villain's crimes in the first movie are completely wrong, but the source of her anger is not.
After Bellwether was arrested, did big animals start respecting small ones? Unfortunately, no! That's why the theory says Judy didn't solve the real problem, and that maybe one day the villain could return as mayor once again to fulfill the dreams of small animals, which is getting rid of the big and evil ones. Will this really happen? Let's find out in Zootopia 3, Mr. Big. You know that Mr. Big is a character who references one of the greatest movie classics, The Godfather, which is a film about the Italian mafia. He has many employees who are huge, strong polar bears that are absolutely terrifying. In other words, Mr. Big is a very powerful character. And what does that mean? The leader of the mouse family must have taken the lives of several people since he took control of the region where he lives. One of the biggest fears of Mr. Big's enemies is when he opens a door that exists in the floor of his office. There, he sends people into the freezing water of a lake. Because of that, there's a theory that many enemies of the mouse mafia lost their lives. The movie makes us like Mr. Big and his family, and yes, they seem very nice. The problem is that this is a mistake, because this family also commits crimes. Judy arrested. A theory that is blowing up on the internet talks about Judy being arrested in the next movie. You don't know what we're talking about. Our protagonist is a police officer, and she is required to fight for justice and protect the city. We know that she does this, even more than all the other characters, but there is one crime that Judy commits. She doesn't arrest Mr. Big. In fact, Judy even becomes friends with the mafia family. Disney still hasn't explained how this works in Zootopia, but in the real world, this is a crime. That's why the theory says that at some point, Chief Bogo will order Judy's arrest for getting too close to dangerous characters and not arresting these criminals. What do you think about that? Domestic animals. Do you know where domestic animals are in Zootopia? We're talking about dogs and cats. Where are they? The truth is that Disney chose not to create this type of animal for the world of Zootopia because the studio didn't want fans to think they are special. The same thing can be said about monkeys. Fans might think that monkeys, because they are similar to humans, are somehow more special in people's minds. Disney didn't want to create that effect, and that's why they chose to remove some species from the movie. But what is the explanation for this inside the animated world? We have the answer. The truth is that our dogs are relatives of wolves, but they wouldn't exist if it weren't for humans, since dogs are the result of human interference in nature when humans and wolves became friends. Something similar happened with cats, and this is proof that in the world of Zootopia, human beings don't exist. And that's pretty cool, right? If this theory is correct, we will never see dogs and cats in the Zootopia universe, but having animals like them would be cool, don't you agree? You know what would be awesome? Subscribing right now and getting all our videos straight on YouTube. Fish. In Zootopia, we discover two new types of animals: reptiles like Gary, and aquatic mammals, which didn't have a major role in this story. In the swamp market scene, we discover that aquatic mammals such as seals eat fish, and this is a very important detail. The existence of reptiles shows that mammals are not the only ones in this universe, and the next movie will introduce birds. If this is true, then the question that remains is, do fish behave like people? They might have families, but they are serving as food for the mammals of Zootopia. The movie already made it clear that there is a violent past between predators and prey, meaning fish could be suffering. What do you think about this theory? Meat. So what do predators in the world of Zootopia eat? Just because they evolved doesn't mean they stopped eating meat, right? That wouldn't make any sense. What does a tiger eat in Zootopia? And how does our hero Nick Wilde feed himself? Did they invent some kind of fake meat that helps predators avoid hunting and eating innocent animals? Probably yes, but if not, then are they eating other animals? That would be bizarre. Tell us your theory about this topic. Sheep father. There's a theory that says former Mayor Bellwether is only evil because of her father. In the first movie, the directors had the idea of including a ram named Wooly. He would be a kind of secret agent who disguised himself as other characters to gather information, but he was cut from the story, even though some images of him exist. Wooly is probably Bellwether's father, and she would be evil because of him. We already explained that stronger animals like lions treat smaller ones in a horrible way in the world of Zootopia. Because of that, it's possible that this cut character created the plan to destroy the government of predator animals. But since this character didn't have space in the movie, it was up to his daughter to continue the plan. And the coolest part is that in the next movie, this ram could appear for the first time to save his daughter from prison. If this is true, true, we're going to have a very powerful villain in Zootopia 3, since he can enter any place and disguise himself as anyone. What do you think about this theory? Former mayor. Do you remember what happened to the former lion mayor, Hart? This character was the leader of the city before Bellwether, and he is also very guilty of everything that happened. He was the one kidnapping predators and keeping them imprisoned. He was the one who lied to the city, saying there was nothing wrong, and even after we discovered that the villain was Bellwether, the lion never returned to the city. What happened to him? The last time he appeared in the story was during a CNN news report, where he says he made a mistake but was only trying to protect the city. A photo of him also appears in a portrait thrown in the trash in Chief Bogo's office. Is he still in prison? The theory says that he unfortunately lost his life in prison, because in the jail scene, the character is not there. Many people say he is no longer alive. Did some villain attack him? This theory is bizarre, but it needs answers, and we'll have to wait until the next movie to find out. Until then, stay with us.
We've prepared 2 videos you're going to love. Pick one and keep having fun here with Teen Videos.